Hello, family and friends. Welcome back to Mama Niger's Kitchen, a kitchen filled with love, delicious mouth-watering, finger-licking international cuisines from all across the globe. So today we have something spectacular for you. Beef pot roast. How to make the best pot roast ever. So our main ingredient that we are going to be showcasing today is beef. In this case, I am using the beef top round. So as you can see here, I have 2 chunks of beef, of which I am going to be using one for my pot roast. When you are purchasing the beef to use for your pot roast, you want to be mindful of the type of beef that you are getting. So what is mostly important is to look at the grain in the beef. If you have, a good scattered, fairly good amount of fat embedded grains into the beef, that is going to ensure or promote the texture as well as the softness of that beef and taste. Before I go further into this video, I would like to use this moment to give a shout out to all my supporters. Happy Mother's Day to all my supporters, to all my well-wishers, family and friends. If you are new and this is your first time coming to Mama Niger's Kitchen, we say a warm, huge welcome to you. And to all my subscribers, thank you for your support. Your love is felt and much appreciated. Thank you. You've selected the beef that you want to use. You want to give it a good trim of excess fat to tissue and then give it a good wash. Pat it dry and set it in a container that will allow you enough room for dredging. Here I am using a baking dish and I am going to now prep the seasonings that I will be using. So I am going to use 3 teaspoons of crushed bay leaves. So I am just measuring all of my dry ingredients into one container so that I have a very good mix of the seasoning compounds before I use it to season the beef. So there you have it, 3 teaspoons. Now I'm going to add on red crushed pepper. For my pepper, I have 1 teaspoon of crushed pepper. This is an organic no salt seasoning that I pick up from Costco. It is actually very good. It just have a very good combination of all the spices. So I am going to be using 2 tablespoons of the organic no salt seasoning. Yes, it is organic no salt seasoning. If you don't want any extra salt in your food, that is the perfect seasoning that I would recommend. Next, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of paprika. Paprika is going to give it a very good taste as well as color. Yes, so that will help to enhance the color of our beef when it is all done. As you can see here, I am mixing it all up to achieve a very good mixture of all of those ingredients. I'm going to add some fresh milled black pepper, and of course this will be according to your tolerance. So now my beef rub is ready. I'm going to set that aside. On the beef, I will use 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Pour the olive oil onto the beef and rub all the surfaces of the beef with it. This will enable all your seasoning to attach onto the tissue of the beef. Now I'm going to sprinkle sparsely the sea salt all over my beef. I'm covering this layer and I'm going to flip it and also sprinkle on this side of the beef. Once that is done, I can now move on to use my mixture of seasoning. In this case, I'm going to call it the rub, to dredge. We're going to use the rub to, of course, coat all surface layers of this beef. And you want to intermittently pat it down into the tissues. That will ensure that the rub is holding on to the tissue and will not fall off when you do your pan searing. So continue with the seasoning until every inch of the beef is saturated and coated with your seasoning. Look at that already. Yes. And that seasoning, the combination of seasoning that we are using here is just amazing. It is looking really good. Remember to coat also the edges of the beef and flip it over so that all surface areas, both front and back, is fully covered in this goodness of seasoning rub. Alright guys, if you are liking what you see so far, hey, remember to give it a thumb up. Come on now, cheer your sister on here. Okay? Yes, you can see I am really having a fun-filled time, working with this beef. And the look of it in itself is just satisfying. All right. So our beef is well seasoned and is going to be ready for pan searing. For pan searing, we are going to be using a heavy cast iron Dutch oven pot. Cover the bottom of that pot with some cooking oil, just a cooking oil rub all over it, and place it on the top of the stove and put it on a high heat to heat up. Once it is heated up, transfer the beef onto the pot and push it down so that the beef surface is in contact with the bottom of your pot. And you're going to cook each side of that beef for about 3 to 5 minutes or until it is toasting brown. I quickly realized that the pot I have chosen is actually too small for this beef. So I am now transferring it to broader sized pots. It is also a cast iron, but this time around enamel coated. This will give me enough room to work with my beef as well as the vegetables that I'm going to be using for the side dish later. Remember, as I said, this is one pot stop for everything. All right, so we continue to sear the beef, but I am going to be using a deglazer, and what I will use for my deglazer is the balsamic vinegar and Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to be mixing those two together to rinse out the other pots. First of all, to deglaze the other pot that I had started with. I will not let that goodness go for waste, guys. No, come on now. I want all of my incrustation in the pot transferred into this pot. Okay? Yes. So I will deglaze that pot and pour it into this pot. You will see that later. So, but meanwhile, continue to pan sear the beef and flip it over once one side is done. As you can see, it is kind of almost golden brown. Yes. To deglaze my pan, I'm going to be using 2 tablespoons of the balsamic vinegar and 3 tablespoons of the Worcestershire sauce. So I'm going to mix those two together and pour it in my other pan that I started cooking with, okay? Deglaze that pan thoroughly, making sure that nothing is left behind. Yes. So that pan is fully deglazed. I'm going to be transferring all of that goodness. Ooh, just look at that, guys. Did you see that? All of that goodness, caramelized goodness, onto this pot. Now we are talking. So continue to sear it and allow all of that deglazed juice soak into that beef. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes, this is just so rich. It is so rich. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce directly onto the beef, and just rinse out that pot because I didn't want anything to be wasted. And yes, so that is all the liquid that I need. I would say I use about half a cup of water with the balsamic vinegar and the Worcestershire sauce to deglaze and the rinsing and transferring all of that goodness to this pot. So it is looking yummy, licious already. At this point, I have washed all my vegetables that I will be using. I am just using some baby potatoes and carrots. So I am just arranging that neatly around the perimeter of that beef. These vegetables are also going to benefit from all the spices and the aroma and flavor. So everything is going to marry together in that pot. Now transfer the pot into the oven at 375 degrees for 30 minutes. While that is roasting in the oven, I am going to use this spare time to clean up and set up my dining table. So here is a glimpse of the dining table setup. For this ocean spray tablescape, I am using turquoise as my runner, blue china ware, and gold for accentuation. Are you ready for this spectacular one and only beef roast? Yes, here you have it, guys. This is a classic beef roast. Just look at it. It looks so moist. It is surrounded with a bed of veggies, carrot and potato. It just looks so moist and inviting. Yes. Yes, I know you can't wait to dig into this. I wish you were here so I can have you do the taste testing. But for now, you can just admire it and then grab your ingredients and cook likewise, because I know you can hook this up for yourself. Yes, let me stop talking for the moment so you can actually enjoy the view of our final products. Allow the beef to sit for about 5 to 10 minutes to cool off before you start to cut into it. Now I am going to transfer my beef onto the plate setting. Look at how easily the fork went into that beef. You can actually pull apart this beef very easily. It is so moist and tender. I am just taking the quantity of vegetables that I would need for my plate setting. So once I have that put together, you will see the final presentation shortly. will not be making any additional gravy because I have enough, more than enough roast stock here that I will be using for garnishing as well as gravy. So guys, here is the first step of my presentation. Yes, I'm gonna have it in 2 series, okay? So be sure you watch to the end to see the final presentation. It's gonna blow you away. So stay steady. Stay steady, okay? Because I was amazed myself, all right? So your girl is taking it a notch up. So what I am doing now is just pouring some of that stock or gravy onto the beef, just garnishing it with it, caramelized juice of that roast, pouring it onto the beef, making it look more succulent. Just look at the cut into that beef. This is well done. Yes, because I love my beef well done. If you, whichever way you like your beef, if you want it medium rare or medium well done, you know, whatever way you like it, please be free to do it your way. But for me, I love to have my beef well done. Hence, it is fully cooked, okay? But just look at how it easily cuts through. It is moist, decadent, and I just can't wait to bite into it. The aroma in the air in itself, it is intoxicating. All right, guys, this is masterpiece. This is top of the line right here. Top of the line, classic beef roast, garnished with caramelized carrots and potatoes. Woo! Taste testing time, guys. Oh yeah. A bite into the beef was just heavenly. Ooh wee! Oh my gosh! Yes. The bite was just too good. And here is the final presentation. This totally blew me away, okay? And I hope it is pleasing to you as well, satisfying to you, enchanted, and above all, delicious, mouth-watering, and finger-licking good. You know it. The finger-licking good stamp gotta be on it. Thank you so much, for watching. Thank you for visiting again. I hope your visit was fulfilled with some added value and joy. And I do look forward to seeing you again at Mama Niger's Kitchen. This is a special tribute for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all my ladies out there.